It's Jessie with Elysian Homestead, and we are in my pantry. I'm going to do a pantry tour. I have really warred with myself on doing this tour because it's not an aesthetically pleasing pantry. It's not beautiful. It's not brand new. It's not painted wonderfully. It is a room that we made into a room barely in our basement that is cut off from a heat source, so it's nice and cool to keep our stuff in. It's functional. These most shelves that we got were from like a job site my husband was on. There were a few here when we moved in, and we just made do. We didn't spend a lot of money on this pantry. So I always felt like I can't show my pantry because it's not gorgeous. But you know what? It's functional. It's full of food that we have grown or locally sourced, and I'm proud of it. So let's get to the pantry tour. Okay, so up above is mostly just my winemaking supplies. I love making wine. It's something I find enjoyable. We don't drink a lot of it, but I like to make it and have it on hand or gift it out. So we have some sauces, mostly zesty peach barbecue sauce. I have oriental plum sauce. I got these plums from a friend's tree. She just had an abundance of plums, so I snatched them up and made some plum sauce. We have a sweet pineapple sweet chili sauce, honey mustard, peach ale mustard made out of local peaches. These are so good. We have a sweet and sour. I have 2 cranberry ketchups. We absolutely love this ketchup. Mostly I use it on meatloaf, so I love it on meatloaf. Another kind of plum sauce, we enjoy this oriental plum sauce more than just sweet Thai dipping sauce. We love this stuff. We go through it. I can it up several times a year. Bruschetta, love it. I usually just use my cherry tomatoes because I don't have to. Usually just use cherry tomatoes in the bruschetta because I don't have to peel them, and that is an easy way to use them. And then I use it for a nice little appetizer. Sometimes if I'm just snackish, like a snackish lunch with a little crusty bread and some Parmesan and some balsamic, great. Down here we have apple pie jam, zucchini bread jam, black raspberry vanilla jam. These black raspberries grow wild on my property. We have tons and tons of bushes, so we collect a lot of them. I did give a bunch of these away for Christmas this year. Also with those black raspberries, I made a chocolate raspberry sauce. I absolutely love that. Underneath we have some peach jam from local peaches, strawberry preserves from our strawberries. We have blueberry butter, and then over here blueberry lime jam, which is from a local blueberry place that I just love going. It's a little old couple that owns it, and he is just so funny, and they're so helpful, and it is just great to pick there. It's very easy. So we have that. We have apple butter and maple apple butter, which are both amazing. Peach orange marmalade, and then caramel pear butter. Down below, you can't really see them. Let's see if we can move the camera a little bit. Yeah. So down below we have our broths. We have venison broth, chicken broth, corn broth, turkey pho broth, and then I have mushroom broth. I am almost out of the chicken broth, so I will be making more of that or turkey broth because I have an abundance of bones in the freezer that I need to get out of there. Keep doing freezer projects, and yet somehow I still have a ton more freezer projects to get on the shelves, but that's okay. We have our pickles. So these are spicy pickles, and then I have dilly beans, which are pickled green beans, pickled okra, and there's some rat's tail radish in a couple of these because I grew rat's tail radish and I love them, but I couldn't eat them fast enough, so I just decided to pickle some to have them preserved. Pickled asparagus, pickled cucamelons. Love me some cucamelons. I have dill relish, horseradish and beet relish, chunky zucchini mustard pickles. I love these. I don't know what I use them on, but I use them kind of like when I have a snack plate. I'll put them on the snack plate and eat them with whatever I have, like the little chips or or cucumbers or whatever. I love the taste of them. So then we have all dill pickles here. Yep, these are all the dill pickles. Some are whole, some are in spears. I think the slices and we have some sandwich slices back here. These are my favorite. I love putting them on a sandwich. I love just snacking on them. I go through these ones really fast. Down here we have cowboy candy, pickled pepperoncinis, pickled sweet peppers, pickled radish, like a Korean style pickled radish recipe. Whoop, that's weird. A Korean style pickled radish recipe. Look how beautiful that color is. I love these on our bowls. Like when we have a Korean chicken bowl, or even in salads, or just to snack on. They're so good. So then pickled red onions, and then I have Asian daikon, carrots, and radishes pickled, pickled beets, marinated mushrooms, regular mushrooms. We have salsa ranchero, a peach salsa, which is absolutely delicious. It goes great on like a chicken taco. Cherry tomato and corn. I cannot talk today. Cherry tomato and corn salsa, which again came about because I don't like to peel cherry tomatoes. I always grow more than I can use. So I use this recipe, but I add, it's from the Ball book, but I add more seasonings and spices because I don't feel like it has enough. It's kind of bland without doing that. But if I boost it up, I really do enjoy it. This is our salsa verde. This one's separating. You can see. And I like to take this because it's a roasted salsa verde, and I like to throw it in the smoker. So we'll smoke it, and then it gives it so much depth of flavor. It's so good. And then I continue making it exactly how the Ball book directs, but with the smoke instead of the oven. So down here we have honey peaches, spiced peaches. I absolutely love spiced peaches. Orange slices, mock pineapple. Mock pineapple is actually zucchini. So good. We use it on a lot of applications. I also feed it to my toddler, who has no idea that it is not real pineapple. And my husband likes to take jars of it to work to just eat them. I have more mock pineapple, but I have this shredded because I use it in like breads. Spiced pineapple, we aren't really a fan. It's like the spiced peaches, but with pineapple. We're not really as big of a fan of that, so we're going through it really slowly. We have applesauce, and then the rest of this is apple pie filling. Oh, I do have some pears back. I like to stock up, so when I get my hands on something that is abundant for the year, I will take it and just grow as much of it as I possibly can, so that way I don't have to preserve it for the next year. I can use that energy towards something else if I have to. Or if there's 2 really good years, I can preserve extra again, and then maybe the next year is not so good of a crop, or I'm busy at the time with something else and I don't have time to do it. So I like to just do an abundance of things at one time to try to have extra for more than 1 year, if that makes sense. Okay, so on this last shelf of this wall, I have Mexican corn. Love this. And I have regular corn, all bought locally. I did not grow these. I wish that I had, but I'm still struggling to get myself a good enough ear of corn to be confident enough to can my own corn. Working on that skill. There's cream corn, sweet peas, carrots. I did peas and carrots together, both from the garden, because I thought that would be perfect for fried rice. And it works really well. We've got fries left in our potato canning haul, probably just 2 jars. I didn't get potatoes canned this year like I had wanted to. I was so busy, and we've eaten through our potatoes fresh anyway, so wasn't really a lot to do there. Pickled veggies like a jardiniere, straight from the garden. Sauerkraut. Over here we have coleslaw. I don't love this coleslaw. I tried to love this coleslaw. The recipe on the canning site that I use, that is a safe but untested recipe, had a lot of sugar. I cut the sugar in half, and it is still too sweet for us, so I might honestly try it one more time, cutting it into to a quarter of the sugar or less. The sugar isn't the preservative, there is vinegar in here. I just don't love the sweetness of it. Okay, down here we have just regular green beans. I have balsamic beans, and I have green beans and mushrooms, and then I have just a couple jars of carrots, like a couple of older jars of carrots because there's carrots from the garden from this year up here. Down at the very bottom I have winter squash, and then here is some pork. We just butchered our pigs. We had 4 pigs out there for butcher, 2 for other people, 2 for us. This is some of our pork. There's a jar all the way down here that I didn't realize of turkey noodle soup starter without the noodles because you can't can flour. So we'll just add noodles. I have boxes full of jars like here and really bad over there because while I do have a few spaces, it's not spaces for those specific items. So my husband and I are tossing around the idea of redoing the pantry. It's kind of a cost that we're not really like wanting to do, but it might be a necessary cost because there's a lot of like wasted space here that could be used for shelving. See, like I could have a whole nother shelf. That's a lot of space. So we're considering it, but for now, they're on the floor in boxes. There's nowhere else to put them. So this one is a little bit of everything. It's kind of my, where I don't have room for something else shelf. But we have, dehydrated apple slices. We have shredded zucchini. I have spearmint extract. Over here is the vinegars. So we have strawberry basil vinegar, peach pie vinegar. I have chive blossom vinegar, and then just a cinnamon, basil, and blueberry vinegar. I have rhubarb barbecue sauce. Here's some of our last pork that we had. Not this year's pork, but pork and spicy broth. I only have 1 jar of this left. We use this a lot for like ramen, or if we want just like a taco, like a carnita. I think it's carnita, yeah. Boiled peanuts, Cajun boiled peanuts, taco meat and meatballs. I like keeping things like this on the shelf. I have a 17-year-old who lives at home and a 21-year-old who is going to college and still lives at home, but they won't go into the freezer and grab out burger and thaw it and make themselves tacos, but they will come down here and grab a jar of taco meat and make themselves tacos. So I have taco meat right here. I have meatballs. I generally have some breakfast sausage, and somewhere down here I should have some chorizo. There's other meats that they can use. So I like to keep easy, convenient meals of options available for them, so I know that they're eating a healthy food. Okay, we have just some like random stuff, just a bunch of dehydrated stuff. This is freeze-dried broccoli cheddar soup. So good, and I used it in rice when I redid rice, and it made it just yummy. More just like herbs all through there. I have dehydrated potatoes down there, freeze-dried peppers. Can you see how beautiful that is? Look how I just dice them and freeze dry them, and then I just use them in my cooking. However, isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so this is the like last little corner mostly of the canned goods. So we'll go over it down here. I don't know if you can see it. Here, we'll move the camera a little bit. Down here, whoop. Down here, over here, those are 2 stacks of. Okay, well, now I'll show you. So I have 2 boxes stacked 2 high, 4 boxes total, I guess, of cranberry juice. It is not a tested recipe. It is not considered a safe recipe because there's air in the cranberries that doesn't get processed properly, but it is something that I make every year for my husband. He loves cranberry juice. He loves grape juice. So we have a grapevine and we have access to a family's grapevine where we can get an abundance. So I make cranberry and cranberry grape juice for him every year. He loves it. He drinks this stuff by the jar, like daily. So there's that. Not a tested recipe. Okay, so over here we have Thai coconut soup, I did it because I had an abundance of squash. We don't love it. We'll go through it, but we don't love it. Split pea soup, specifically only for my husband. Black beans, more black beans. I love having beans canned on my shelf because while it's convenient and easy to store them when they are just like dried, I I won't use them. I will just forget to do it, and then it'll be too late, and then I won't be able to use the beans. So it's easier for me to have beans on my shelf. Chili beans. What is this? Oh, this is tomato soup. It's in the wrong spot, but tomato soup. This is the last thing of chili beans that I have. Okay, so baked beans. These three are baked beans. These are baked beans. So I have pinto beans down here, and then I grew some of my own dried beans this year and canned them. I love these. They're great. They just make me happy eating my own canned dried beans. Obviously, I didn't get enough for the whole year, but I got enough for a little while, and next year I'll just grow more and keep going until I can get it figured out to do enough. Down there we have beef pot roast. The recipe in the ball book calls for wine in it. We don't like the wine edition. It's overpowering. So we're going through it slowly. But after we're done with the wine one, I'm just going to make a regular one because we will absolutely love eating the regular one. Just the wine is overpowering, but I don't want to waste it. So if I make more of the kind we do like, we're just going to choose to eat that instead. So get through this. Louisiana red beans and rice from the ball book. Down there I have venison hash that we use for breakfast. It's just potatoes, venison, peppers, and onions with some seasonings in it. Kind of use the build your own soup, but like extra hearty soup recipe that you got off the National Center for Home Food Preservation. I don't know that I've seen it on there lately, but that's what I use to can that with a little bit of beef broth. Chicken curry in the ball book, and then there's just some beans and stock and like onions and stuff. So all I have to do is add like ham to make a bean soup down there. More of that chicken soup starter, vegetable soup, tomato paste, tomato juice, tomato sauce, just plain tomato sauce, and then we have pasta sauce, pizza sauce, ketchup. I have I'm going to trip over this, so I'm trying to be careful. I have whole tomatoes. I'll see if I can. Oh, this is Rotel. So I did Rotel last year, and then I did some more this year. This year's recipe I liked a lot more. It had a lot more flavor. It was called like DD's Rotel or something off of one of my canning groups. It's supposed to be not tested, but safe in theory, I guess. But Rotel, look how pretty it is with those tomatoes. And enchilada sauce at the bottom. So over here there is chili con carne. This is just chili sauce. So we have chili con carne, chili sauce, chorizo. We only have apparently one jar of chorizo left on the shelf, so I'll definitely have to be canning more of that up. It is from our pigs that we raise and then we butcher and make our own chorizo, and then it's usually in the freezer, but I like it on the shelf as well because it's easier access for my sons, even for me when I'm in a hurry, in case I forget to thaw out dinner, because that happens a lot. I've got canned venison. We have peach syrup, strawberry syrup. Down a little bit lower is a lilac syrup. I usually have a lavender syrup as well. We use these to make lemonades. I'm out of lavender syrup. I have lavender that I harvested and dried from this year. I just haven't made the syrup yet and canned it. So that will be one of my winter projects. That is all grape juice from those grapes from the family. Look at all, it's so pretty. From the family vine that I have access to. So that is all from that. So it's nice organic grape juice. Love having it on the shelf. There's nothing added to it. It's just I used my steam juicer and then collected the juice and canned it. That's all it is. It's just grape juice. So we go through that pretty well as well, and it's nice having it on the shelf. I don't have to go buy apple juice or grape juice or any of the things because I usually have them. I don't have any apple juice left because my toddler and husband went through it. They don't like just drinking water, they want juice. So I'm always canning juice. So, especially when it's fruit season. Underneath, we have a cherry syrup, a blackberry syrup, and a pear syrup from my friend's pear trees. I didn't get pears this year, so it's from I think last year's harvest, but still so good. And it makes really good lemonade, but we also like using it like on our pancakes. Okay, so this is the last little area for today. I do have a refrigerator right next to the camera, so I don't know if you can hear the humming from it. It is a fridge that we use right now. It's got guanciale that's finishing its cure job, and it's got like my pickled quail eggs and my pickled cucamelons and some kimchi in there. I just keep stuff, like my pickled stuff, my fermented stuff, down here and that out of the way so we can just come get it when we need a jar upstairs. This is my medicinal shelf. There is stuff up here you can't really see. Here's a nice beautiful jar of ghost pipe. Nice and dark purple. There's elecampane, which is my husband's. It's my husband's baby this year. He's been growing it for several years to get it nice and strong so he could dig up some roots and make some elecampane. It's amazing for respiratory. Whoops. It's amazing for respiratory. It'll kick whatever right out of your chest. So then we have things like goldenrod tincture. I have calendula, mullein, spearmint. This is orange powder. More calendula, moringa. It's just, this shelf is just packed full of different things. Rose petals, holy basil. These are our tinctures. I just sell them at market, on Etsy, on Facebook, on all sorts of places I sell them. Here's that ghost pipe tincture. And there's not really anything else down there. I do have freeze-dried stuff here. Some zoodles, some green beans, bananas with cinnamon. Love bananas with cinnamon freeze-dried. Grapes, blueberries and raspberries. Kiwi and cantaloupe. Golden kiwi back there. Have apricots. A friend of mine gave me some beautiful apricots from her tree this year, and I just freeze-dried them because they're a sweet little snack to just snack on. They're amazing. Love them. I freeze-dried some of the spiced peaches that I had canned to see how they would taste. They're so good. Like, I'm surprised there's any left in here. And then just regular freeze-dried peaches. Look at, the color retention on freeze-dried goodies is just absolutely amazing. So thank you for joining us for our pantry tour, whatever you want to call it. We are starting January 1st, 2025, a pantry challenge, and we are going to be eating all of this food that I have worked so hard to grow, preserve, and forage, or even buy local. It's really hard some days to watch it go off the shelf, even though that's the reason I put it on the shelf. So we're gonna try to see what we can get eaten up and go through so I can start the process all over again because gardening season's coming. We do have 3 freezers, well, 3.5 because the fridge freezer, full of meats and other such things. Oh, my furnace kicked on. Full of meats and other such things. I'm not doing a tour of those because they're kind of a jumbled mess, and all you would literally see was a bunch of stuff stacked on top because doing the 4 pigs at the very last minute of so we did pigs between Thanksgiving and Christmas, 4 of them, and so everything kind of just got stuffed in there. We didn't organize. We do plan on doing that really soon because I have to take a inventory so I can make meal plans off of that. But I'm going to try to post more on our pantry challenge and what we're eating. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for joining us. Bye, friends.